20%. The FCC or whoever made it so that 20% of America could not tune in to Jimmy Kimmel's monologue last night. Places like Portland, Oregon, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, Missouri, and other ones were on that list of no-show. If you want to see his monologue, definitely check it out on YouTube. It is definitely there, and it is fantastic. Jimmy gives a heartfelt speech about thanking everyone for standing up for what's right. Gives a shout out to those fuckheads on the right-wing side that actually stood up for free speech, including the fucklechuck who tried to do a mafioso impression, Ted Cruz. Because yes, even though Ted Cruz is an absolute piece of shit and looks it, he did speak out against what is going on to the freedom of speech of America. So like Jimmy, I'll give him that much credit. But that fucker really needs to stay away from doing impressions. Unless he can do a good Gargamel, because, he looks it. You know who did an amazing impression of the FCC chair on Jimmy Kimmel last night? Robert De Niro. Like I said on one of my last videos, if you're going to do a fucking impression of a good fella, you need to learn how to do a fucking impression of a good fella. And who better to do a good fella impression than one of the actual good fellas? Anyways, back to the monologue. Jimmy took shots at Trump, at the head of the FCC car, at pretty much everybody on that side. He did give a shout out to Charlie Kirk's wife for forgiving the gunman who shot down her husband, saying that was a very Christian thing of her to do, which it was. But I still don't trust that fucking chick, especially after all this shit that's coming up about her being tied to the Trump pageants and some shady fucking shit going down overseas with her tied to it and her ministry. But anyways, what I took from his monologue last night was that it is a great way of showing the powers that be who want to hinder the freedom of speech that it's not going away. That there are still people who will fight for our right to talk. But I want you all to remember something. Pay attention. It wasn't until ABC Disney started hemorrhaging billions of dollars that they actually did something. If their stunt about getting rid of Kimmel didn't cost them money, they wouldn't have let him back on the air. Start going after their money and watch them all stop in their tracks, especially Trump. Just some food for thought.